ever since.
Drag racing started way back in the 50s, as an organized sport anyway, on paved roadways or airport strips. Back then, it was a equal start. Both people start at the same time and over a fixed measurement, which happened to be a quarter mile. And the reason why they picked quarter mile was because airport runways were about 3/4 of a mile. And they figured they needed room to stop too, so a quarter mile was a good place to have the acceleration portion of the contest. Back then, they had one category. It was called top eliminator. And that was the fastest guy there was the winner. And the problem with all that was it seemed like the guy that had the most money was the guy that was top eliminator winner, and therefore he won every week, and it wasn't interesting for other people. So to make things fair and more even and more interesting to keep participation up, they started a handicap system, which now we call bracket racing. They've developed a system where a computer judges who will leave first. And in the basics of it is this. If you had a car that went 10 seconds and I have a car that goes 20 seconds, you would wait 10 seconds on the line after I left, and the computer would time the Christmas tree so that I were to leave 10 seconds before you. And theoretically, if we run exactly how fast we say we would run, we would both reach the finish line at exactly the same time. So it becomes a different sort of competition, a consistency competition. Skill of the driver and the vehicle together, and how consistent that person can be each run. The goal is to go as close to that number, where they call it a dial-in, at 10 seconds, as you can, without going underneath your dial-in. When you go faster than that, essentially, that's cheating, and it's called a breakout, and you lose. You may not lose if the other fella red lights, or if he breaks out by more. But it is still a racing contest to see who gets to the finish line first, under a fixed amount of time, judged and categorized by a computer.
And this is a 14-second street car. D. You're a D guy. Alright. I'm going to ask you to fill this out, please. Today's race safety inspection. Seatbelt, helmets, back belts, shoulder belts, roll bars, depending on how quick the car is. It's all degrees of safety.
Check it out. It'll be a fight to the finish. Left lane's got a little bit of catching up to do. Got a fender. Looks like he might be out on him. See if he can get the win. And he does. So the Dodge comes back. The Dart with the small block and the big horsepower. All right. We like it.
I love roadrunners. I love roadrunners. Just like having sex. That's how I see it. Just like having sex. Yeah, even better. Because I tell you this, you spend money on women too. So this is my woman right here too, and I'm married. I just bought it about like a month ago. Total wreck. I had my Chevy. Stopped working on the Chevy. I love MOPARs, and here I am. Just that easy. I'm cooling my baby down. It's upset. I'm cooling it down. And get right back out there. MOPAR is for the older guys. That's how I see it, for the older guys. Chevy is for all group of age. But MOPAR, that's where you gotta be a man to handle these. You gotta be a man to handle. Ain't a man, don't get behind the wheel. That's all I can say.
I just got the car and I wanted to see what it would run, and instead of doing it on the street, I wanted to come down here and try it and run with my 2 sons. And I just ran against my 1 son. He beat me by about 3 seconds. My boys have been MOPARs all their lives. They take them apart, they strip them, they put them back together again. And when they saw this car, they said, you have to buy that car, so I bought it. It's a 70 Barracuda Grand Coupe convertible. There's 538 of them made, and it's got a 340 in it and a 3-speed automatic. And my husband and I are going through our second childhood, enjoying it.
You gotta like it. It's the class. All the Mopars. Dodge, Plymouth. Got the Duster for the daily car, the Barracuda for the race car. The brother's got the Challenger. You don't want to touch Ford or Chevy. I saw the cars here 3 years ago, and you felt that need for speed, and you're in the stands, and you wanna go out there, and then 3 years later, you get the car looking good.